Hello guys, welcome in for another BO3 of the tournament Back to the Sea organized by HAGTV. Guys, don't hesitate to go and watch us, of course, because we are creating a lot of events on AoE4. And today, Back to the Sea. We're gonna come from the mountains to the sea because it's summer and we want to go to see the sea, of course, to go on the water and stuff like this. So this is basically a tournament when we will have some mountain maps and we will go directly to water maps during the events. The more we are gonna see some games, the more we are gonna see some water maps. This is very cool. Here we're gonna see Trakor versus Cosmos. This will be a BO3. We are in the qualification phase of this tournament. And the winner of this BO3 goes to the main event. The loser, of course, is eliminated of this tournament. So this is quite important for those players because this is a $300 cash prize event. This will be very cool. Okay, so Cosmos is playing here the Ayyubids in the color blue and Trakor is playing the Chinese in the color red. Let's go for this game. We're gonna see an Imperial Academy and a reinforcement wing from Cosmos. So yeah, I'm the official caster of this event in English, but we also do it in French. So for those who are interested to watch it in French, don't hesitate to go and watch HAGTV on Twitch, on YouTube, and also don't hesitate to go and watch HAG, as I talked about before, especially on Discord, because we are going to do a lot of different events on AoE4. We are creating a lot of stuff, so this will be cool. What do we expect on this game? I think the Chinese is a very good civilization on this map. I think it's the best civilization on Cliffside. Well, if you avoid HRE, of course, because HRE is just the best civilization on every map because it's broken. But here the Chinese is a very good civilization because you can use your Barbican in order to put it on the center of the map and you have the control of the map, of all the map. And then your opponent has to take different paths in order to attack your base, and it's very difficult for him to do so. Especially because the Chinese can do walls very quick in order to protect, because they produce it 50% faster or 100% faster, I'm not sure. So yeah, the Barbican is very good stuff, and also because Pro Scout, of course, this is very nice. But I have to say, Ayyubids is a very good civilization in order to counter the Pro Scout because of those desert raiders, and also it gives them the time to just go on the age up at the same time. They can produce as a lot of desert raiders, and at the same time going on H3 and surprise the opponent. So yeah, this is something that's very cool, but still, I think the Chinese is a very good civilization. Yeah, we are creating a lot of horsemen in order to deal with those desert raiders. The horseman is a very good unit against this the desert raiders. Why? You're gonna say, well, the desert raiders is a very good unit versus the cavalry. I know, I'm a good imitator, but yeah, it's the case, but the horsemen also deal more damage to the ranged units. And as you can see here, this is a light, ranged, and melee camel. So this is counted as a ranged unit, even if they are in the melee mode. So no, doesn't matter what you're doing with the Desert Raider, you're gonna take +9 damage from those horsemen. So that's why the horsemen are very good units versus those Desert Raiders. But very well played here from Cosmos. He managed to take down one scout, and at the same time going on H3 with the logistics. This is very interesting play from Cosmos, because then he will have 3 dervishes and takes all the relics of the map, while Trakor has trouble taking the deers and then cannot really go on the age up. So this is very interesting. We have here the survival techniques, and we will have the age up very soon. We have a deer pack that is behind our base, and the main goal of those desert raiders is not to deal damage to the villagers or stuff like this. You cannot really do that against the Chinese, but what you can do is just delay a little bit the pro scout of your opponent. That's the main stuff. Really well played from Trakor, I have to say, because we have a lot of horsemen in order to deal with that, but maybe a little bit too much. Because if you have that much of light cavalry, the problem that you will have is when the Ayyubids goes on the age up, on the H3, then he will produce heavy cavalry, and it will destroy your horsemen. What is very interesting also with the horsemen is that they have more movement speed than the desert raiders, and then the desert raiders will just die. Yeah, you can catch them up, especially because here we have 2 more. We will die with 1 desert raider. Oh, very well played. You can see here, Cosmos used this one in order to... Yeah, but he died. But this was interesting. You can see here he tanks here with the desert raiders that has more HP in order to... No! Okay, he doesn't die. He didn't die. Very nice. He also tanked with the scout in order to do not lose his desert raider. This is very, very well played from Cosmos, I have to say. And also because you have dervishes right now, and then they can heal your units. First thing to do is... yeah, more camel lancers. And also this is very interesting to have this. Could be cool. Trakor will maybe go on the age up too. And what is very, very scary with the Chinese is the timing they have. You can see he has the pro scout. He took all the scouts of the map. He has the same army as his opponent. And now he just ages up approximately at the same timing than Cosmos. Yeah, I think the Chinese civilization is very, very strong. We have here technologies. We will do some archery range in order to do crossbows, I think. Crossbows are very nice versus the desert raiders, but also versus the heavy cavalry, of course, versus the spearmen, versus everything that Cosmos has. Except the archers. Maybe we'll have some archers from Cosmos. Be careful with the dervish here. He will be catched by this cavalry. We took 1, 2 relics. Yeah. And now we will use the army in order to protect those 2 relics. And just the main goal of Cosmos here is just to take all the relics of the map. And Trakor, his objective is just to take all the deers of the map. This is clearly a matchup where this is the deers versus the relics. Which is stronger? In my opinion, it's the deers, of course. Because we'll lack of food very, very soon from the Ayyubids. But it's not that much of a problem with the Ayyubids, because you can do some siege units. And because Cosmos went for the age up with the desert raider, he can also produce his siege units thanks to his cavalry units. So this is quite nice. He can do a lot of cavalry units and still have some siege units very fast. So this is nice. This is interesting. I like that. Whoa, the economy of Trakor. This is insane. Why do we have so much food? We are a little bit underwhelmed by this by this economy. I get that. I think this is a civilization where you have so much economy, and sometimes it's very surprising. You're just like, why do I have that much? This is too strong. We are here with very good players, by the way. Trakor and Cosmos are very good Kong 3 players, playing in a lot of different tournaments, and this is very cool to watch their games, of course. We're gonna try to take these deer packs. This could be cool for Cosmos in order to have some food. Yeah, the matchup is really hard for Ayyubid. But, as you can see here, we have a lot of army compared to the Chinese. But it's because Trakor didn't spend all his economy. What do we do as an army? We do spearmen. We do... No, we don't have spearmen, sorry. I was watching here. We do crossbows. Horsemen's, archer. Okay. Maybe we can put more pressure here. From Cosmos side. Lose some villager here. Yeah. The 2 here are gonna die. We'll try to make it difficult for Trakor and make him lose some time. Yeah, we have +2 ranged armor, so we don't do a lot of damage to those units. They have 5 ranged armor, so the outpost is dealing, I think, 6. So we're just doing 1 damage per arrow. So this is not a lot, of course. Yeah, we have 5 relics still. Maybe in the late game it could be cool, but yeah, with the Chinese we have the taxis. We have a lot of cool stuff too. The army is pretty much the same right now. And also what is very scary is just that the Chinese has a lot of food. And in my opinion, when you are the Ayyubid right now, you just want to stay in your base, wait that the Chinese lack of food. And when he lacks of food, he has to do the farm transition. And when he's farm transitioning, you will not farm transition. You will have your food depleted too, but you will use your wood and your gold that you have thanks to your relics in order to do siege. And then you can attack your opponent while he is farm transitioning and use all your... This is not a good fight for Cosmos. This is not a good one. We are gonna snipe the dervishes thanks to the archers because this is a very good unit at healing everyone. Very well played from Trakor, because this is something that can make you lose some fights if you don't really focus on the dervishes. And you might say, this was a good fight for Cosmos. This is the case. He destroyed so much more value to Trakor. But the problem is, the less units you have in order to protect your siege, the worse it is. Because, as I talked about before, the idea is to do a lot of siege when you lack of food. But if you have like 10 units to protect your siege, or if you have 30 units, it's not the same at all. And the idea is to take the less fights as you can in order to have more siege units. In order to have more defense on your siege units, sorry. Okay, very well done from Trakor, attacking everywhere. Yeah, we will lack some food pretty soon now. Did some Manjanik, and we have a dervish here that heals all the units. This is very nice. Very well played here from Cosmos, using this ability from this unit. When you do the age up with the dervish wing, your healing is always in an aura, and this is very strong. And if you carry a relic, then it's increased by 50%. This is a lot. Yeah, and now Cosmos has to do a lot of siege units. This is the main goal here. If he goes on, I think he has a timing with the siege, but if he goes on the very late game, Chinese is better. And at the beginning of the game, Chinese is also better. But Ayyubids is very much this civilization where you have a timing precisely at the H3 around 20 minutes approximately, when you don't have any food, your opponent neither, and then you do a lot of siege. And this is very nice. Yeah, we don't have deers anymore. We're gonna take the berries. Maybe we will go H4. This is insane. I mean, yeah, the economy of the Chinese is just absurd. We will put some pressure here. And the problem of the Ayyubids with this is just the mobility. You have a problem with the mobility with this civilization because, well, you have Manjaniks, you have siege units, and the siege units are not fast. Very well played here from Cosmos, moving everywhere his villagers, where they are safe. And he didn't lose that much villagers compared to the raid Trakor did, and this was very well done from Trakor, I have to say. Very well raid, very good raids everywhere, but very good defense from Cosmos. This is not easy to do at all, because when you are attacked everywhere, for example, when Trakor used his unit in order to go there, Cosmos knew that and then moved his villager before it was happening. So this is very important to do. The Barbican, as I talked about before, in the middle of the map in order to have the control. 3 Manjaniks. This is becoming very interesting from Cosmos right now. Very well played. A Palace Guard here in order to annoy Cosmos. We are using a Desert Raider in order to kill this. Well, we are losing 2 villagers, maybe 3. And the fight here, very important fight. We have to protect those Manjanik. If you lose this is catastrophic. This is catastrophic to lose this. Will we be able to defend? Okay, the fight is complicated. The fight is very complicated. Yeah, we didn't have that much siege. Not enough. I mean, this is difficult. Trakor has so much economy compared to the Ayyubids. Yeah. The fight was not good for Cosmos. Maybe do not do the second TC and maybe just try to spam more siege. And do the second TC when you took about a good fight, for example. I don't know. This is quite difficult. It feels like Chinese has a lot of advantage here. And this is over right now. Cosmos has nothing left on the map. No units. And then, yeah, he cannot produce back some units because he doesn't have food anymore on the map. So this is over. And he cannot farm transition. This is a bad farm transition. It costs a lot. And it's not as good as the Chinese one. So the late game is not in his hands. So yeah. This was a very interesting game. Ayyubids versus Chinese. We're gonna see the next one very soon. So on YouTube, it will be on the next video tomorrow. And on Twitch, we're gonna see that right now. Don't hesitate to come and watch us on Twitch. And also don't hesitate to go and watch HAG, of course, that is creating this event. The Back to the Sea. And we're gonna see a lot of different games on this event. This will be very, very cool. And yeah, see you in the next one. Bye.